Oh, I do not want that in the way.
I
I don't know how to get rid of it. Oh, you can do stuff. Hold on, guys.
We can do
Live
stuff.
chat. Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Your warmest moments. The
What?
photos you
It's
only want to
okay.
share with those close to
All
you
right.
deserve to be kept at home.
I don't know how to get
Deserve to
rid
be
of this.
kept at home. Deserve to be kept at home.
Okay. Hi. I don't know how to get rid of this thing.
How do you
There we go. Um, who is that? Somebody said hi.
That's probably me.
No. Okay.
Totally kidding. Okay.
So we've only been on here for 47 minutes, 40 seconds.
It hasn't even been a minute yet. Okay. Dang, we're getting our lives together.
Nicole Robinson says hi. Hi, Nicole.
Really hard.
Where are you from? If you're still in here, Kiara.
Boop and I boop.
I know that.
Right with the peekaboo
What
eyes.
y'all doing? San Diego. Oh shoot, West Coast. That's why she's in here, because she's on our coast.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you been a subscriber? We're supposed to be looking up there, not down here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're new to this.
It's hard. You can't see and.
I think you actually can see.
Can
up
you
there.
see the comments up there? We're still figuring this out.
So I guess while we're waiting for people to chat with us, you guys know me as Sovereigness. This is my kid sister.
Shakira.
That's what she wants to be known as. That's who she is.
That's my name.
And we are both in Washington State, so we're on the West Coast. You figuring out that wine? Shut up.
I know I am. Look.
You're not supposed to be looking down there.
I can't
I'm gonna
see.
turn that off. They're coming. They're gonna ask the questions up here.
Oh, okay.
So I guess there's 5 people in here right now. We know somebody's from San Diego. I know somebody else is in like the South right now. It's a little delayed, so anyways. So we're just gonna talk about random stuff. As people come in, we'll say hello and ask where you're from. But I guess we're just gonna be talking about spirituality. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's why she did the eyes. And she was like, "What's the tea?"
Oh yeah.
It's not no like real.
It's
tea.
not real tea. It's real tea. It's our tea. It's our personal tea.
Personality.
Okay. I like that. I like that. Good save. Good save. Yes.
So I guess we're gonna talk about the awakening that some of us have experienced, some of us have not experienced yet, but it's a constant thing. So, do you want to go first? Or do you want me to go first?
Should we start now?
You want to wait? We can wait.
What do you want to do?
First, let's ask them if have you guys gone through an awakening at all? Have you experienced an awakening at all? There's not a lot of us in here right now, so there's no need to be shy, guys.
And if you have, like, what was that like? Like, was it
what triggered it?
What triggered it? Yeah, that's the better question. Like, what triggered it?
I feel like if you watch tarot, if you watch any type of spiritual channel, then you've had some sort of awakening. Something triggered you to like want to look into tarot, want to know more about it.
Agreed.
I feel like it's hella hot right now.
It's the lights.
And the liquor.
And the wine.
Hi, Consuelo.
Peace. And light.
So you can see it up there. You see it?
No.
You didn't.
I swear I didn't see it.
She's lying.
I'm not lying. And I have my glasses on.
So I guess nobody else has gone through an awakening. So we'll just go ahead and talk about it a little bit. Like what inspired us to jump into tarot, what inspired us to jump into astrology, birth charts, looking into different things. Mm-hmm. You want to go first?
I'll start. Okay, so I started my journey to enlightenment, quote unquote. And I use that word lightly just because I feel like it has a connotation behind it, like, oh, you're woke. And it's just like, it's not even really about being woke and like wearing, you know, the clothes and the whole nine and the crystals.
There's a stereotype. I mean, the crystals is real.
I mean, it's real, but it's like, it's more than just that. It's more than just the items and the things and the look of it. But anyway, I basically, I started to, you know, go on this journey probably 2000.
It was before
15.
me. Yeah. Maybe
Okay, so
before that.
it was. I've always been someone who didn't really stick with religion. Like I've always had my reservations about religion. It never felt good. Even as a kid, I was like, something about this isn't clicking in my spirit. Like it just doesn't make sense to me. But because my parents and my mother were so adamant about going to church and doing all this and that, it's like I did it because I was indoctrinated to do it. Like that was just what we did as a family.
the regular
Sunday
thing.
dinners after church and all that, it was just the thing to do. So around 2015, I think it was around the time that those really like serious, like the attack on our black boys was happening. So like Mike
Yeah.
Brown,
Trayvon
Trayvon Martin, Philando Castro, I believe is his name, Castile, and so many more. But it was around that time. It was like a cluster of just like young black boys just dying. And I would go to church and we wouldn't really touch on it. And I'm like, why are we not having the conversation of our community? Like, why aren't we having the conversation of what's happening amongst our community, like with our black boys? Like, why isn't that something that we're discussing? But we're talking about being debt free. We're talking about raising money for the church and this, that, and the third. And we're talking about all of these financial gains that we should have or should be making our way towards. But we're not talking about the real plight of our community. So that was one thing that really like kicked it off for me. And I was just really sad all the time. And I just started to look more in myself and more online and just for more. I don't know what the hell I was looking for. I was just looking. I was just seeking something. And I just came across, different people, different pages, different a bunch of different things, and I realized that like it clicked more for me, like to be able to say that God is everywhere and God isn't just one being, or you don't have to go through somebody else to get to God, or you don't have to pay 1/10 of your gains every week to get to God,
especially if you can't do that. Like
exactly,
it's not realistic for everybody,
right? And it just like I was like this. It felt better for me to understand that side of spirituality more. And so that's kind of how I started to fall into it. It just felt better to my soul. Like it made more sense. I didn't have to question it as much. Like, and if I did question it, my questions were welcome and encouraged. Whereas in my, with religion, it's like,
don't worry.
It is what it is. Like you don't have to ask questions. You can be blissfully ignorant and not want to know the answers to your questions. Like, but with this, it's like, no, if you have questions, actually go into it more, look into it more,
it's
learn
never
yourself.
ending. Yeah, it's never ending information. You can search one thing and it takes you like further and further. Like there's so much information out there that is like buried, but it's available. So you just have to dig for it. You have to want to dig for it though. And that's part of the awakening. It's like you wake up to infinite possibilities or a different mindset. Like what really sets your mind free. You don't have to confine your mind or your beliefs to like a box. There's so much that you can actually look into. Sorry I interrupted you. Go ahead.
No,
you was on a roll.
You're
girl.
fine. You're fine. And that's not to say that like there's only one way to get to enlightenment, or there's only one, whatever the way is for you, whether that be through Christianity, Islam, whatever. If you choose to subscribe to a religion, then that's for you. This is not some like bashing anything. We're just talking about our experience into our enlightenment and how we found our light and how we are continuing to journey through it. Who's to say 3 years, 4 years down the road, I won't subscribe to something that resonates to me? Who's to say that won't happen? But as of right now and where I've been for the last few years, it's like that it just clicks for me. That's something
spiritual journey.
It's a spiritual journey. And to me, it's just like, I don't want to have anything placed on me that would hinder me or indoctrinate me to believe something and almost create like a blinder over me and like cause a fog. With this, I feel like I have a lot more freedom and a lot more room to express my thoughts and a lot more room to express who I am and a lot more room to just be, as opposed to, having to be something.
Yeah.
You can just be who you are and it's fine. So
I'm gonna move this because
that's kind of where it started for me.
Somebody else said, I think her name is Cleisha. Hello, beautiful ladies. I've been reading since I was very, very, very young, but I really started my awakening about 2 years ago. When I started to study the law of attraction. Yeah. So when you started studying the law of attraction, did you notice right away, like you were able to manifest quicker, like actually setting your intentions and then things coming to you when you actually like set the intention and then release it to the universe? Like, okay, this is what I want. I don't know how it's going to come to me, but I know it will. Like, did you notice a change? Or what made you want to start studying the law of attraction? Because that's not what triggered me. Mine was very shallow.
Really?
It was a very shallow experience. I mean, maybe not. I had postpartum depression and I was just like searching for a light. And then it's just like one day I kept seeing the same numbers over and over and over. I would wake up at the same time. And anytime I went out, I got anxiety really bad. And I was like, what is this? I don't know why. Like, I didn't know what an empath was. I've known that I'm a Pisces, obviously, from the time I could know what the hell a zodiac sign was. But I didn't know anything about astrology, tarot, anything like that. But I did go through postpartum depression after having 3 kids back to back and then not really wanting to be out in the public. You can hear them in the background now. And I just wanted to research, like, why. Well, it was strange to me. Why do I keep seeing 333? Why do I keep waking up at 333? Why? Just a lot of questions. So that's where my awakening triggered. It was just like a question. And also my sister too, like she's always like marched to the beat of her own drum, even though she's the younger sister. It was like inspiring. Like, well, what is this that she's like, what is this path that she's on? Because I've tried to follow the family way of like church and everything, but I never really felt like I fit. So I just had to start like researching. So mine was very like shallow.
I don't think that's shallow. I think that's that's more of a calling for the universe to be like, hey, knocking, 333, 444, 777, 1212. Like, yeah, it's like in a way, like it's like the universe is like, hey, like pulling at you more, like, you know what I'm saying? As opposed to like having to go search. It's like it came to you and then you searched.
Yeah, but did it though?
It did. Because how else would you have?
She's the positive light.
How else would you have?
You are.
How else would you have?
Well, for me,
it's because it didn't come knocking at your door.
Okay, so I don't know if anybody has experienced postpartum depression, but for me, it was like I was looking for any reason. Like, I didn't want to kill myself, but I just did not want to exist anymore. And I was just like searching for a reason. And I swear, I don't know if maybe that was the reason. Maybe that, like you said, maybe it was a calling. At the time, I was just like, this is very weird. I don't know what this is. But I need to figure it out. Maybe we should hide that because that keeps distracting me. Hold on. I didn't know what it was. So I started to look into it, and my husband he's not on that journey, or he's starting to now. But when I was going through the depression, he couldn't figure out like how to help me get out of it. He couldn't figure out, like, even when I finally felt like I snapped out of it, I feel like all the information that I found kind of helped me, like, there's an actual reason to be here. Like astrology, I would say numerology, tarot saved my life, literally, because I was looking for any reason to still be here, because I was literally hoping that I would just die at any moment. So but my husband, I think he just supported because he could see, like, okay, she's starting to find something to like make her happy or make her want to be here. So he just supported it. But now he's starting to like go through his awakening. So that could have been something like a trigger, you know, like it triggered me to him. And now I'm looking at things for my kids, like their birth chart. So I don't know, what did she just say? Yeah, exactly. It opened a whole new world. No more control. No more guilt that religion did to me.
The law of attraction showed me that true power.
And that she's not evil for using her intuition.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that I want to talk about too, because on Snapchat the other day I was talking about witches, because everybody is always like, are you a witch? Because I work with tarot and I work with candle magic. When I say I work with fire, it's candles. It's not like I can make flames come out of my hands. It's literally candle magic, like aromatherapy from the candles, and like really put the candles. If you guys haven't noticed, your mothers or even the church lighting candles, lighting incense to set a mood, it's all intention. So that does not make me a witch. If the church can have an altar, why can't I have one at home? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, I mean, but if I am a witch, then it is what it is. I don't think that I'm a malicious witch. If that's what it is, if that's what I have to be labeled as for somebody to feel comfortable, it is what it is. But I mean,
and like you said, like the churches, they light candles, they do ritualistic things all the time. They have an altar,
they partake in the breaking of bread,
the breaking of bread,
eating
and
the body,
and drinking the blood. I mean, does that not sound really
That
witchy
sounds
to
like
me?
a ritual to
that's
me,
very
so-
ritualistic, very witchy. Like that's not. You know, that even sounds a little bit more
It sounds a little dark.
perturbed than doing candle magic. You know what I'm saying? Like
And
we
it's
don't eat
not
the
even
bones
magic.
and eat the body.
It's just setting a mood, setting a tone,
An intention.
Yeah, exactly.
It's about creating an energy. And that's what all this is really. It's about creating that frequency, creating that energy, because that's all everything is.
Exactly.
Everything is energy. Everything on this plane is energy.
Exactly.
And you know, that's, I mean, it may sound crazy to people, but like it is.
Even
it's
color,
truth.
like you get color based off of like prisms of light, energy, like the source, the sun, everything. So it's not just like I can see something one way and she might see it a totally different way because of perspective. It's all it is all energy.
It's all energy.
But you have to get to, everybody's not on that frequency where they quite understand that. My kids are coming, so just hold on. Joey, go sit down, okay? I'll be there in a second, okay? Okay, we're almost gonna eat, okay? Go sit down. Your shirt's on backwards.
God, that's a beautiful kid.
Yeah, so Consuelo says it's all about intention. It is all about intention. Anything you do should be with intention. We were just talking about that earlier too. This is going like completely not completely, it's kind of off topic, but anything that you do should be with intention, including sex. Like when I was younger, I may not have been thinking, oh, my body is a temple, or I'm only going to do this with intention. But now it's kind of like, maybe don't just sleep with everybody. And be detached, because that means that you're not really connected to your soul. Your body is the home, and your body houses your soul. So if you're just hopping around from person to person, you don't know what kind of energy is attached to them. You don't know
what traumas they hold on to, because we hold on to that stuff within our souls.
Exactly.
And it goes into our DNA, and it really has a trickle down effect. So, you know, yeah,
we were just talking about
just talking about that. How intimacy is kind of like,
I
don't know.
Cleisha said it's freedom, religion is controlled. It is, it's boxed in. Like when you subscribe to one religion, unless it's like, what is it, non-denominational, where they believe a little bit of everything. Is that what that one is?
Well, no, I went to a non-denominational church, and it was still based in Christianity. It just was a little bit less contrived. People were a little bit more free to kind of like wear denim jeans, and they would listen to more like hip hop music.
So it wasn't like they were controlled as far as you have to be dressed a certain way or act a certain way.
Exactly. It
But
was
you
more
still have
freedom
the
in the
same
sense of
beliefs.
be who you are, but your belief system is rooted in the same thing. At least the one that I went to was like that.
So what is the religion? Is it omnism, where it's like you believe a little bit of everything? Like, I personally believe in a light and a shadow. I believe everybody has a light and a shadow. I believe everybody has masculine and feminine, which I need to talk to you about too.
Oh yeah.
So I don't really necessarily believe in the devil versus God. It's evil versus good, yes, but it's also like what makes that person evil. Like I think we're starting to see that a little bit more too. Like when you see the villainous movies and shows like the Joker, it's like seeing their perspective. What made them that way? What traumas did they have to endure for them to become that way? Nobody is just born evil. I refuse to believe that. I believe that some people are they're susceptible more to their dark side, their shadow side, more than their light, or they've been around more dark energy than light energy, but that doesn't make them an evil person. So I don't believe in heaven and hell. Even I believe that what we're in right now can be heaven or hell based off of how you choose to live your life. And I believe in frequencies. I believe that you can operate on different frequencies, but I don't believe that we're going to be in the sky or under.
Hell, yeah.
I'm just like, okay, where is hell?
Here.
Because
we're in it.
If the earth is in the universe,
Right,
this is going way off. But if the earth is just part of the universe or part of the galaxy, heaven is supposed to be in the sky or beyond the sky. So you're in the universe, and hell is below the earth, but that's still in the universe.
And then isn't as above, so below? So aren't they kind of
know.
the same? You know what I mean? Like,
it's just, this is the type of thing that spirituality will lead you to versus religion. You get to explore different ideas and see like, what does this mean versus, oh, you have to believe this. And if you do this, you're going to hell. That was another thing I didn't understand. If we're all God's children, why, if you mess up, do you go to hell?
And you're supposed to be forgiving of all things. And
right. There's some things that I just didn't understand about. I don't know. I haven't seen that one, but maybe Taoism.
I think Taoism is. I'm not 100% sure. I think it has something to do with like.
Makes sense to me, but I also believe in Jesus, or at least in his lifestyle. Yeah, I believe in all of the deities. I believe in all of the prophets. I believe they all served a purpose, and Jesus is cool with me. Like, they're all cool with me.
Right.
But I'm not just gonna say, oh, I'm a Christian, when Jesus Christ himself wasn't a Christian.
And he also said, he didn't say worship me. He said, do as I do.
Yeah.
So follow in my footsteps. Be that beacon of light. Have that Christ energy. Have that Christ life. Like, live that.
And create your own legacies even. Like, don't just do...
I mean, yeah, create your own legacies, yes. But, like, I think in the sense of Christianity, like, it's just, like, follow Christ in the sense of the way that he was moving.
Yeah. In his light.
In his
light. He operated in light. But you have to in order for you to operate in the light, you have to understand the dark. That's why I like to encourage people. I think that's why a lot of people get mad at me when my readings aren't 100% positive. I can't be positive all the time. Like,
it's not realistic.
Exactly. It's like, this is the energy that I'm picking up on. If there's something dark in the reading, you have to acknowledge that so that you can acknowledge the light. I can't just operate in the light all the time. You have to take care of the traumas in the shadows before you can just live fully in the light. And I honestly think that there's a balance. You should be in a gray area. There's so many shades of gray. Why do you need to be dark or light? I think we should figure out a way to blend the two. Because sometimes you need to be dark and sometimes you should be light.
And light couldn't exist without dark.
Exactly.
So sometimes you have to sink in it a little bit. Sometimes you have to go through that darkness to get to that light. Sometimes you have to be brought to your knees, or however you want to say it.
Exactly.
You know, pray that sometimes you have to go through it. You have to. Otherwise, when something good happens, how could you ever appreciate it? Or how could you learn from life if you don't go through something a little bit tumultuous?
Exactly.
A little
dark, unavoidable. Exactly. I think we go through constant tower moments, but every time you go through a tower moment, it's an opportunity for you to rebuild your foundation. And that's what I love about Scorpio and Scorpio season. It's an opportunity for you to dismantle anything that is causing your foundation to be unstable. And then you can take a close look at what you're operating on. What are you building on top of? Change that so that you have a stable foundation, and then you can keep moving forward or keep building off of that. But I think tower moments are necessary. I think they're just as necessary as awakenings. We go through an awakening can be a tower moment. Like, you can have an awakening constantly. Okay. Like, you can think that you know everything, and then the next day you're having a moment where you're like, damn, that was not at all. That was not at all what I thought that was going to be, or it's not the same thing that I had in my mind. So it's just constantly learning. And that's what I respect about the spiritual community. It's not just, this is the way it is. That's it. That's all. We're all way too different. We are a collective energy, but we have so many different perspectives and we operate so differently. We can't box ourselves in, if that makes sense. So would you like to touch on that anymore? Does anybody else want to talk about? That's why I watch your readings. Other readers just keep saying that my soulmate is coming every month. Yeah. some people, I'm
gonna pour some to that.
For some people, there are some signs, some people where you can see like somebody is really close to like a soulmate union coming together, but there's still some healing that needs to be done. There's still something that somebody's missing that they didn't catch. So they could be coming, they could be close, but they may not be as close. Like, if you're watching an Aquarius reading and I say your soulmate is very close by, one person might meet their soulmate tomorrow and the other person, they could be like right under your nose, but you won't know it until you heal some trauma. So they could be very close. They could be coming, but you don't know. I'm sorry if I'm looking all over the place. I'm like, where do I look? Because I'm used to my phone being the other way. What did she say? When you know what you don't want, you know what you do want. It's all about how you feel, like you lady said. Yes, I'm glad you guys understand. That makes me happy. That makes me feel like I'm connecting with the people that I'm supposed to connect to, because everybody doesn't get it. Some people, and I'm not knocking those people that don't. I feel like if I learn, I should teach, and vice versa. I always want to learn. So if there's something that I don't know, I would like for somebody to explain it to me in a way that I can understand, so I can learn more. So You're definitely reading. Okay, so is there anything that you guys want to talk about at all? You guys want to know anything about tarot? Like, when did we start doing it? Do you want to know anything
When did
about
she start doing it?
She does it too. Did you want to know anything about the moon cycle?
It's her gig. It's her gig.
Or healing traumas? Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
I think that's a good topic.
It's crazy because I actually fell out with a couple of family members, and I don't really want to go into too much depth because we literally just like spoke for the first time in almost 2 years yesterday. Like, I felt a really strong nudge or urge to like reach out to her, so I did, but I don't want to use that as like a topic here. But just saying that, you know, you're constantly learning. I thought for sure I was done. I was like, I'm done with the family. I want nothing to do with the family. But when you feel an urge, when you feel that in your gut, when your intuition tells you to reach out to somebody, you always should. Just swallow your pride. Like, don't let your ego get in the way of you healing your traumas, and at least try to follow your intuition.
And that's probably the biggest obstacle I think that a lot of us face is
Your ego.
letting the ego go, as opposed to holding on to it because it's been used as a way to protect ourselves for so long, you know, by saying, oh, they fucked up, or they messed up, or they did this, or they did that, and pointing the finger. You know, it allows you to reflect on yourself and say, well, no, what could I have done different? Or what did I do? Or how did I allow that person to get so close to the point where they even were allowed to have that much power over me and put this trauma on me? You know, it gives you a chance to really like
dissect your demons.
Exactly.
I've seen that somewhere. Don't slay your demons, dissect them. Find out why the demons are there. Find out what is this lesson? Because, right, demons is just another word for a lesson.
For teachers.
So find out what this demon or this thing is that is trying to teach you. Instead of just like cutting it out and throwing it to the side, maybe dissect it, really get to the root of it. Like, what was the purpose? What was your purpose of being in my life? Why did this happen? That's a tower moment, but it's also an awakening, and it's another way for you to ascend because you're releasing the baggage so you can actually move along your journey, if that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense. To me.
The dog wants to come out. So I think that, I don't know if anybody else wants to talk about spirituality, if there's anything that you guys want to know while we're here, because we definitely probably about to go get another bottle of wine.
I want to say something really quick. I just want to touch on something. So on my way here, actually, I didn't tell you this, but on my way here, I just been thinking, like recently I told you about that moment that I had like a couple weeks ago where I just felt my body like I woke up in the middle of the night, it was super late, and I just felt this light.
Yeah.
So since then, it's just like I've been being extremely intentional and very aware of my thoughts and very aware of the way that I move and like listening to my body. Like, if I'm not hungry, I don't eat. If I go a day without eating, I'm okay with that because my body wasn't hungry. Or if I'm craving something, like just being more in tune with myself.
Your star player. Always be in tune with your star player. Otherwise, you could be way off balance. You might perceive somebody the wrong way or something. Just try to really stay balanced. That's the best way to stay balanced, is to acknowledge yourself.
Exactly. And listen to yourself, like you said, and have that intuition. But on my way here, like I had a traumatic experience like sometime last year, and so getting through that has been tough. But on my way here, it was like I was able to have this download almost where it was like my higher self or God or whatever name or label you want to put over it was saying to me, you cannot love yourself until you love all of your past. You can't love yourself until you forgive. Until you can forgive everything that has happened to you. Because until you can really say, you know what, I forgive that person for hurting me, or I forgive myself for letting myself go through that, or then it's like you're like letting that shit go. Like you're just letting it go, and then you're making room for so much more greatness and so much more like love and light within yourself. Where it's just like if anything happens at this point, it's like nothing can shake me right now. Exactly. Like I really feel so strong in myself that whatever I go through, I know it's going to be for a reason, and I know I'm going to be able to dissect it and learn from it and keep pushing from it. You know, even if it brings me down, I know that I won't be the type to stay there because I'm light. I'm light enough to have let go of that other stuff to where when something hits me, it's like, okay, I'm here dealing with it, but now I can let it go. because I've learned how to do that.
Yeah.
And it really is about having a spiritual stamina. It really is about having like the ability to really keep going. Like spiritual stamina is real.
Yeah, a lot of people don't have that stamina.
Yeah.
A lot of people feel broken. But I think that's when you should go the hardest. When you start feeling like really like ready to give up, that's when you have to really push yourself to go. But then that's when you need like a tribe
tribe. That's so true.
And that's why you
and
have
it's
to
hard
be willing,
though.
but you have to be willing to be open and accepting of people and understand that everybody's not here to hurt you. Some people are here to help you. Some people are going through the same things. Some people are on the same frequency as you. So
you just got to give people the opportunity.
Exactly.
You know, but
it's a process.
It's a process. It's a process. Like sometimes you gotta isolate. Yeah. Sometimes you have to just go into the darkness and stay there for a while and bury your head under the damn rock and just like cry it out and have the emotions and all of that, so that you can be like, okay, I've had enough of this. This doesn't feel right anymore. Like it doesn't feel right for me to do this. You know, you have to. It just all goes
after
together.
So long, it kind of is just like, what is the point of me doing this? Like, why am I holding on to this? Why am I still in this space?
Because we're human.
Yeah, but we can hold ourselves stagnant for a long time unnecessarily. You know what? So Stephanie says, I have a hard time receiving messages. I think I have too much going on that I can't fully relax and connect. What are some things I can do to help open myself up to receive messages from my guides? Do you have any advice or you want me to? I feel like she honestly knows best because, listen, guys, I do the videos, but when I tell you my sister actually like helped me go through an awakening and actually like really find my purpose, I didn't know how to meditate. I was like, my mind is filled to the max with too many things. Okay, so she really helped me figure out how to find a quiet space and really focus on myself. And if something crosses my mind in the process of a meditation that I'm trying to do, to acknowledge it and release it. So it may not be that you have a lot going. I mean, you do have a lot going on. We all do. Anybody over the age of 18 has a lot going on. But I think you just need to like find time for yourself, like really find a quiet space, and make it a routine, make it a habit. I don't know if you have an altar. I don't know if you have like a space that is dedicated just for you, and where you can connect with your guides. So find like a corner, a closet. If it has to be the bathroom, just find a space.
The shower.
Or even the tub. Yeah, the tub, the shower, whatever you can. Like something that you can do on a regular basis where you actually sit and be still. Like try not to do anything. Try to just sit and be still. Quiet your mind in a way that's just like, think of the ocean. Think of something that's going to take your mind off of work, off of bills, off of whatever you have to. Just think of something. I think that was you that was telling me, think of a black wall or think of the ocean or whatever. Eventually it's second nature, but you have to keep doing that. So I would say meditate. Exactly. Meditation is the first step.
She said, ain't no time with 1,000 kids.
There is time. There's always time. When the kids fall asleep or wake up maybe 30 minutes before they get up, find time for yourself.
You have to find time for you.
If you're going to be superwoman or superman to anybody, you have to make sure that you're able to be superman or superwoman for anybody else. And that first step is acknowledging yourself. So you have to find time for yourself. Find time for yourself the way you find time for your kids, your man, your friends, work, all of that.
Exactly. And sometimes, okay, I'm going to be honest, sometimes like realistically, right, it's hard to kind of break cycles and start new things and start new patterns of like as a way of life. But even if you just take that time while you are in the shower to just cry,
exactly,
to just release it, to just be like, okay, this is on my mind so heavily. But if you can't fix it right in that moment, try to release it. Stop trying to look for an answer to the problem. Stop trying to understand, all the time why it happened. Sometimes just let it go. Sometimes even if it's just for that moment, because that will help at least to add to the sanctity of your day, or help to add to like the peace that you have, even if it's in that moment. Just even while you're driving the car, either turn the music off, or and just kind of let your mind go, or turn the music on. Listen to something that's going to help soothe you.
A meditation
or
something.
Not
like
too
maybe not too relaxing on the road, but like I would say honestly, turn it off. Turn the music off and listen to yourself, because there's a lot that goes through your mind. Listen to that, acknowledge it, and release it. Like, okay, I got that thought, let it go. I have another thing that I started doing was dumping. So if I don't want something to stay on my mind, I'll write it down. Just write it down,
That
or
part.
even put it in a note on a phone, and then just release it. But don't just keep it all inside. The shower thing is really good, because if I didn't cry in the shower, nobody would know that I cry. I cry a lot
In the shower.
almost
It's my favorite place to
almost
cry.
every day.
It's my favorite place. That or in the car. In the shower, in the car is where I cry
in the
most.
car. I'm scared of the road.
I'm not.
It's not my driving, it's other people's
I
driving.
be
that I'm
driving like
scared
a
of.
crazy person. Everybody stays the hell away from me.
Yes. Yes. So you always have time. There's always going to be you time. You can find some time, even if it is in the parking lot at your job or whatever. Your lunch break. Find time to like sit and talk to yourself or listen to yourself. You don't have to talk to yourself like me. You can just listen.
Sometimes you should talk to yourself. I do. I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Yeah,
I don't think there's one way to get to 10. However that is for
true.
you, work it out. I talk to myself all the time, but that's also because I'm partially a loner. I don't have children. I don't have a husband. Like, I can talk to myself. No one's around to judge me or be like, what the hell's going on?
I don't talk to myself, and I don't think I talk
Like out loud.
I definitely journal though. Whatever is on my mind, I definitely get it out. Like, I have to get it out, otherwise it'll be on my mind. I won't sleep well. I'll wake up anxious like 3 or 4 times throughout the night. So try to dump. I know it sounds gross, but dumping is literally just getting it off your mind. So on a piece of paper, in your phone, or even venting. If you have a friend that you can vent to, as long as they're okay with it, like, don't just hit up a friend and be like, I gotta tell you this real quick. Like, that was something that I struggled with. A lot of my friends always calling me for advice, but nobody asking how I was doing.
Exactly.
So try not to dump on your friends, because again, we're all busy. We all have a lot going on. So if you can dump on a journal,
A strong friend.
but your
Mama.
strong friend needs you to, they need to dump on you too, though, if that's the case.
Well, the balance, yeah.
Yeah. So I would say dump. That would be a good first start too. Like meditation, dumping, crying, releasing. Basically. Yeah. Releasing.
Especially if it's, things are out of your control. She's so cute. Like, if it's stuff that's like out of your control, you can't fix it now. It's in the past. Try to release it. Just do whatever you can to release it. And like she said, sometimes you do need to turn the music off and actually listen to yourself instead of trying to escape the thought.
You need to acknowledge
embrace the thought,
Yeah.
acknowledge the thought. I won't say embrace it, but at least acknowledge it and do what you will with it. Release it. Let it go. Let it go. Let go and let God. Ain't that a thing?
You'll see if you start journaling, Stephanie, like the more you journal, I probably have like 10 journals around this house, because if I didn't do it last night, in the morning when I come downstairs, I need to journal something, or my phone. So just get it out. That's what I would say. Get it out, meditate. We've literally been on here for almost 40 minutes. Okay, so let me see, what is this? Ain't no time. It's a Thank you so much. You're welcome. And the shower is the best place, or the tub, if you have time for a tub. My kids are getting closer and closer to this camera, and they're babies, they're toddlers, so they're in their drawers. If they get on camera, I'm sorry.
She looking at you like, Mom.
They want attention right now. So I guess the next time we talk, we can talk about moon cycles or something. If we're done here, I mean, I don't know if there's something else that you guys want to talk about. Why, Honor? Why is this happening? Can you throw it away from me? Throw it away. I think everybody's done because nobody's asking questions. So I guess we'll try to do you want to try to do this regularly?
Yeah, I'd be down to do this.
Do you guys like live talks, or do you guys prefer like the videos? I know one thing. I'm gonna have to find another spot in the house because it's hot under these lights. This is the office that I do my recordings in. So right behind her is the desk that I sit at. If you guys can see back there, that is it. Buddha's over there next to the window. And I'm gonna find another spot next time because it's too hot right here. So thank you guys for, kicking it with us. I think we need a little more wine. I think we need to feed the children. I think I need to let the puppy out. But if you guys have any questions, you can always comment or email me. All the information is usually in my description box. I think she should start a podcast. Honestly, she has so much to talk about, and she's so motivational. I might be pressuring her a little bit, but I think that she should. So hopefully, you guys will see her more or be hearing more from her. Why? I'm hot because of why? Liquor?
Because we popping bottles.
Stop!
Okay.
Oh my gosh. You're so welcome. Thank you guys for kicking it with us. We'll be back with more like moon cycles and stuff like that, because there's days where we don't do our rituals, because like the Taurus full moon, she didn't do a ritual, but I mean that's very Taurus, right? She indulged. That's what Taurus does. So for me, that was a ritual. So they're laughing at the one. So I gotta let this dog out. But yeah, we'll talk about that. Okay, we'll talk about the moon cycles and all that stuff. My dog is pissed, so I gotta let him out and feed the kids. All right.
Bye, guys.
I love you guys. Bye. Thank you guys so much
Sayonara.
for kicking it with us.
That was
I gotta figure
fun.
out how to close this though.
That was fun. I think you just turn it off.
Okay. Bye guys. Love you.
Bye.
I think right here.
I think so. Yeah.